Four, three, two, one.
Good evening. Welcome to Cindy Dennis Ministries. I'm Ann Sellers, and we are here again on week 2 of the focus month of adoption and child care. Our theme this year is Hear the Voice of the Child. And last week we talked to Karen Fletcher, who is an advocate and a foster mother, and she gave us an introduction to the system and adoption and foster care, and gave us statistics and told us how we could help even if we cannot foster or adopt. We can advocate for the children. And so tonight we have Tawana Gay from Hardeman's Dynasty Incorporated. It's a 501c3 located here in our community in Alexandria, Virginia. And she takes up the point of the children aging out of the system. So I'm not going to keep you, as I always say, because she has a lot of information to give, and I'm going to let her go ahead and tell her own story and talk about, how this has affected her life. This call has affected her life. So we say don't go any place because we don't want you to miss anything. So Tawana, welcome. Thank you for joining me tonight. I'm so glad to see you. I've had the most blessed time of just chatting with you, and you having shared your heart with us about this ministry that you're now upon. Even though it doesn't say you have ministry in your name, it is a ministry, and I can see that. So go ahead, you got the show, so you tell us what you want us to know.
Thank you for having me. I am so blessed that we are able to shed light on the need to take care of our children who are aging out of the foster care system. My organization is Hardeman Dynasty Incorporated. We have been established since last year, November 17, 2020. So we are a new organization right here in the Alexandria area. But our organization is we want to start here in Alexandria all the way down to Petersburg, because in the state of Virginia, there are 5,500 children that are in the foster care system. Right here in Alexandria, we have about 200 children that are in the foster care system, and we want to support them. We want to support all the children that are in the foster care system. Our goal is our mission is to provide affordable housing for young adults aging out of the foster care system, because unfortunately here in the state of Virginia, Virginia is last out of all of our states to have them exit at the age of 18. If they have not secured housing, they are faced with homelessness. And with homelessness comes crime, comes sex trafficking, comes teenage pregnancy. There's loitering in the community. And so my organization is trying to give them support. Well, we will be giving them support. And when I say support, we're talking, we want them to stay connected to their social worker, because Department of Human Services, as long as they stay connected to their social worker, they can get benefits all the way up to the age of 21. Department of Social Services will pay 80% of their lodging. They will make sure that they get a mental evaluation. Their social worker will come and see them once a month to make sure that if there's anything that they need, that they can get it. We also will provide them job skills. We want to make sure that they have the things that they need to succeed, because some of these kids are going from place to place. All they have is the trash bag, a trash bag full of clothes. And we just want to make sure that they are not forgotten. We want to make sure that they're heard, and we want to make sure that they are our future generation. So if we don't support them, what will our future be? Because if they don't have a foundation, what happens to us? So my organization is working with the surrounding schools to identify those children that are in the foster care system. We can only speak to those young adults that are 18. The ones that are younger, we don't have access to them, but yet we still support them behind the scene by making sure that the foster worker, social worker gets the supplies that we are donating to them. Right now we have a backpack connection for the month of October. We are supplying them with this backpack. This has our information on it So if they need anything, they can reach out to us. But what's going in the backpacks are personal hygiene. We're gonna supply them with toothbrushes, toothpaste, lotion, um, shaving cream, sanitary pads, all the things that we need on a regular basis will go into this bag. And this is just our way of connecting with them. This is our introduction to them to let them know who we are in the community. Um, we just want to partner with those ministries that are in the community, like surrounding churches, different organizations, because everyone can see these kids on the street. They're in the shadows, and we tend to shy away from them because we don't know their story, but they have a story that needs to be heard. So we just want to give them the tools that they need to be successful, because it hurts the community. It takes, when we allow them to be homeless, it affects the community, because they have to go get on welfare. They need Medicaid. That only hurts the community because our tax dollars go towards those. But if we can catch them before it even gets to that point, um, my organization wants to reach them at the age of 16. When we reach them at the age of 16, we will start helping them with an exit plan. Department of Social Services also tries to get them to start working on an exit plan. And can you imagine, as a child, someone telling you that you need to start thinking about where you're gonna live at 18? All of us have kids. And I got kids I have a daughter that's 17 and I have a grandson that is 18. And I'm still telling them what to do, because kids need direction. They need support. So at the age of 16, we are partnering with the schools and local churches and anybody that knows of any child that is in the foster care system. We just want to meet them. We want to support them. We want to help them with an exit plan. We want them to stay connected to their social worker, because they are afforded. They can go to college. They can go to community college. Each state has a fund set aside for kids that are in the foster care system. If they want a college, it's their right. But if they don't know, 9 times out of 10 they don't know because they want to get away from the system. The system has failed them. They have gone from place to place. They have gone from group homes. So they don't want to be around adults. They would rather go to the streets, but we need to save them from getting to the streets. So we need our anybody in the community that wants to step up to the plate to volunteer, help us fundraise. We want to be able to give them the things that they need: brand new clothes, brand new shoes, a support. We want to have a community where they can come in, and if they need help writing a resume, interviewing skills, if they need clothes for interviews, going on an interview. So my organization just wants to be a support to all of them. But catching them at 16 is a must. It is a must, because I just couldn't imagine at 16 worrying about in 2 years, I already got to try to get out of high school. Then when I get out of high school, it's scary because I might face homelessness if I haven't secured where I'm going to stay. And then those that do go off to college, we never think about when it's the holidays, where will they go? We pick our kids up. We know that we're going to pick them up for Thanksgiving. We know we're going to pick them up for Christmas. But those kids have to secure where they're going to go. They have to be in the dorms making friends, because they want to be able to ask, can I go to your house? Some do stay on campus if they are allowed to stay on campus, but most campuses want them to vacate. They want them to leave the premises. But I do know that some have certain special circumstances, but imagine trying to navigate through life, on your own with no support. So my organization wants to be that support. We are a group of 5 mothers. We're all professionals. We have kids and we have grandkids, so we know what it takes. We know that they need to be nurtured. We know they need to be heard. We know that they need a hug sometimes. We know that, they just need to be nurtured. And so our organization we aim to be that for these young adults.
Very good, very good, very good. And you jumped right in, but I wanted to ask you, how did you get started in this? What caused you to start this nonprofit?
So my sister works for the school system, before and after care program. And her boss at the time, which is our vice president, um, worked with this young lady in DC. And this young lady, she connected with Shannon. But Shannon was a director at the time, and you can't fraternize at work. You can't show favoritism. But they had a connection, and she opened up to Shannon, and she shared with Shannon that she was homeless, but yet she worked. And so Shannon had asked me. I am retired. So Shannon had asked me, could she talk to me? And I said, absolutely. So I connected with this young lady. She shared her story with me. It pricked my heart because I'm like, how can you be in the foster care system and at the end of the road, you're in a shelter? So we stayed connected. We was able to, meet her needs. So I started doing some research. And I started doing the research in the state of Virginia. What happens to the kids that age out of the foster care system? And the statistics are there. They don't hide it. They don't hide that they're last out of all the states to have kids exit the system at the age of 18. They do tell you that they'll support them until they're 21, but they also tell you that they don't always want to stay connected to us. So I asked my friends who had the like mind as myself, would they want to start a nonprofit organization? And they said yes. Because when you're a mother and and you see these kids on the street, it was easy to say yes. So I am proud that we have started this organization. So far, we're working in the community. We just did a backpack drive. We partnered with Joyful Hands, and we partnered with the, I'm probably gonna say this wrong, National Council for Negro Women. We partnered with them. We got support from Staples. We got support from Walmart. We got support from Target. We got support from just friends in the community. We gave out over 250 backpacks right here in the Murray Gate, right here on Route 1 behind Popeyes. And so I'm hoping and I'm praying and I'm believing and I'm trusting God that our backpack connection will be the same, because like I said, there are 200 kids just right here in Fairfax County. That's Springfield, that's Lorton, that's Alexandria, that need our support. There's 200 children that need our support. So I'm praying and I'm trusting God that we will partner with different organizations, churches, just all walks of life that want to take interest with our children, because it's our generation, it's our future generation. So if we don't give them what they need, again, where will we be?
Even your name, the Dynasty part, tell us about that.
So Dynasty is an acronym. Dynasty means driven youth, never alone, striving through the years. They're going to be driven. We know that they're youth, but they're never alone. When they come through our organization, they will never be alone. We're hoping and we're praying that as they come through our programs and our homes, that they come back and they mentor, that they then give a hand up and counsel and, say, you can make it, we can do this. This organization, this is what they did for me. So that's what Dynasty is. And Hardeman is my mother's maiden name. We tend to leave legacies. Other people leave legacies, like Michael Kors, Louis Vuitton. So we wanted to leave a legacy in our family, and that's how Hardeman came to be.
Very good, very good, very good. Now, you said two things that I want to talk, you get to further expound on. It's not just for girls.
It is
These
not just for
packages,
girls.
project, right, too. And
These are for girls and these are for young men as well. So I'm hoping that as people donate the product, that the same things that you would use, give to these kids. You know, God says don't offer something which costs you nothing. Give your best. If you wear Bath and Body Works, then put Bath and Body Works. Donate Bath and Body Works. You know, if you got Colgate, give Colgate. You know, we want to fill this bag up and we want it to be love. We want them to know somebody cares. Because right now, they don't think anybody cares. They think adults are the enemies, and that should not be. You know, they already are separated from their family for whatever reason. Maybe it was death, maybe it was drugs, you know, maybe it was just abuse in the household. But they have been separated from a connection. So what they need from us is to feel connected, is to feel loved, is to feel wanted. You know, when they come through our home, we want them to have security. We want them to have a self-centeredness. You know, we want them to know, you know, what does a home mean to you? You know, everybody gets off work and they know that they can go home, because where home is, there is love. So we want them to have the same thing. When they come through our home, peace gonna be at their home. They know that for the next 24 months, because our program is 2 years, and that should, you know, and within those 2 years, they're gonna be supported to where they can transition and they have the tools to transition on their own. We're gonna teach them how to budget. You know, we're gonna teach them how to grocery shop, the things that they need to sustain as adults. When they come through our program, that is what they are going to get.
Very good. And I understood that currently you only have provisions for 100 students, and you said there are 200, so.
Right now, we only have 100 bags. We only have 100 bags, but we're praying and we're believing that someone will donate the money so that we can get another 100 bags so that we can support all 200 students. I'm sorry, not students, but young adults, and they all can get a bag. Everybody deserves a bag.
Okay, and I'm gonna give you opportunity in a minute for you to talk to us about how we can help you, how the public can help you. But first, I want you to talk a little bit about how has COVID affected the young adults in this foster care system?
So COVID has affected the foster care in a way that, you know, in our community, there are 60% of Caucasians take in kids to our 39% in African American. And a lot of these foster parents are older, so they're aging. And COVID, some of them had underlying conditions. And so they had to have those kids leave their homes. And those kids winded up in office buildings because COVID kind of like shut everything down. You know, if a parent thought about being a foster parent, that ended because COVID is, you know, people were thinking, what if I, you know, have some underlying issues and I can't take on a child right now. So it's tough. It is tough. It has set the kids back. You know, we need new foster parents. We need parents that will step up to the plate to take in these kids, to show them love, and to make sure that they're not overcrowded in group homes, and that they just don't walk away from the system, period.
And why do they walk away from the system? What is the life like in foster care? And I know it's not the same everywhere, but what?
Because, you know, the statistic shows, and it's on Department of Social Services website, kids walk away because they are tired of being pushed around. They're tired of saying, I live here, but tomorrow I'm gonna be living over here. You know, because once that foster parent says that I can't have this child in my home, and they call the social worker, they're picked up again. they're picked up again to go to meet a new family. So it's a new set of rules, you know. And so once they get to the point where they're just tired of that, they tend to live on the streets because they figure I got a better chance out on the street than going to somebody else's house. So that's what happened. They don't want to stay connected to the system because the system has hurt them. The system has said, you know, the way the states are set up, right here in Virginia, they only allow about $50,000 per child. But we know that it takes more than $50,000 to take care of a child. The things that a child needs. So if you have the budget just $50,000 per child, there's no activities. There is no football, volleyball, baseball, because who's going to pay for it? The state has a limit on each child. And that's why when they turned 18, they said this is the end of the road.
Oh, my. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so now tell us, how can we help? Tell us all the ways that we can help you do what you're doing, you're trying to do, you're called to do. And we can obviously see that this is the caller because of the passion. And we talked about passion. Remember, we said pity just makes you feel sorry for people. Passion makes you move.
Yes.
And obviously you got the passion for it, and it's because we see the movement, we see the action behind your heart's cry. You've already started out. You didn't just sit back and wait for somebody else to come, but you've already started. So
Yes.
tell us tell the audience, tell the Facebook, the world how they can help you.
What our mission is to provide affordable housing. So we need the funds to purchase a home. You know, we need volunteers who will help us fundraise, who will do car washes with us, who will share about us. You know, share with a friend about Hardeman Dynasty because, you know, it could get into the hands of someone who says, I want to donate X amount of money. I want to buy into this cause and I want to be a part and I want to help. So in the meantime, while we're waiting for God to bless us with a house, we still need financial support because we want to be able to give them gift cards to go out and buy the things that they need. We want to always have personal hygiene on board for them. We want them to be able to take up a sport. You know, we want them to say, hey, this is what I'm interested in. Maybe they want to play an instrument. Maybe they want to play a sport. You know, whatever activity that they want to get involved in, we want to be able to support that activity. So we do need financial support. But right now, our campaign for the month of October is we want to be able to hand out 200 bags and give them away to the different schools and give them to the kids that are in the foster care system and let them know that we support them. And if, you know, and it's something that'll be ongoing. We want to always be able to give them personal hygiene because I don't, you know, when you go into the store and you buy deodorant, it's $8. It's not cheap. None of the things are cheap. So them having to get it on their own, we just want to take some of the burden off of them. So if you all could go to our website, that's www. Hardeman Dynasty, that is HARDEMONDYNAST Inc. .org. That is our website. Also follow us on our Facebook page, that's Hardeman Dynasty Inc. And on our Instagram, it's Dynasty HDI.
Okay. And if you want to volunteer, you can go
to our website. We have a section where you can click. We've made our website so easy. You can navigate through it. You can read what we're doing. You can see what we've also done in the community. We have some blogs that'll give you more information about the things, the challenges that the youth face. So we welcome everyone to go to our website and also on our Facebook page. We try to post as much as we can on our Facebook page to keep everyone, you know, just keep it in the light that there's a need. There's a child that needs us.
Thank you so much, Tawana. It's been absolutely for listening. We want to encourage you to continue with us on the journey. We'll have another guest next week. We will actually have two young ladies, I guess they're adults now, who are part of the foster care adoption system. They want to tell their testimonies. As I listened to the one young lady, she talked to me about how the sense of not having family, how important it was that you don't have any place to go for Christmas. We don't have any place to go for Thanksgiving. Just the whole sense of not having family, nobody to call, to talk to, nobody who cares. And for those of us who have families, we know how important they are. Even in this time, in this COVID time, we've been challenged because we can always see our family, and we were just challenged by that. But they have no family to go see. And so, but she's doing well for herself, and so she's gonna come and talk to us next week and just share her testimony. So turn in again next week. And we say once again, thank you for joining us tonight. We hope that you have heard something that has actually stirred your heart and caused your area of compassion to raise up, and that you're able to just, even not, if you're not in Virginia, foster kids are all over the world. And so in every state, in every country. And so we would say to you to just get educated. Why are you sitting at home sometime from COVID, from being isolated? Get on the internet and begin to look and decide where you can take a part. As I said early, if you cannot adopt, if you cannot foster, you can advocate for these children. They need you to help them. And even we talked about the younger ones last week, but even the adults, they need people to go to court with them. There's so many things in so many areas. They just need you. They just need you to volunteer to come and talk to them, and just to show some interest. And ladies, we all know how it feels to look at a gift bag and see things that we like. So with her, I'm happy that her attitude is, let's give these girls something really, really nice. So when they look in the bag, they'll be surprised and they'll be happy, and they'll feel like they weren't just given something. Sometimes we as a people, we don't ask people what they need or what they want. We just decide what we want to give them. But imagine looking in the bag and seeing some things that you wanted, you desired, not just what you need, see some items that you need, but something that you just really wanted and just didn't have any resources to get. So that's what Tawana wants to do. She wants to give these girls an opportunity, and guys, because as I said, it's not just for girls. So men, listen up. We need mentors. We need you to step up with these young men in these programs and talk to them, have conversation with them, give them some direction for their lives. Some of them, and I don't know how percentage or don't have fathers, but you can be a father role, play that role in a young person's life. It will make a difference. And so, but we're saying now, we're signing off, but join us again next week, next Monday night, for another episode on week 3 of Hearing the Voice of the Child. Good night.
Good night.